Hello, this is George of Black ATL. We have here Stephanie and, I'm sorry again. Travis, I'm bad with names, I have to work on that. We were at a screening about 2 weeks ago at Get Connected. That's the event that happens the last Thursday of the month here in Atlanta. And we ran across their film called
Cinder Pumpkin.
Cinder Pumpkin. And it was myself and two of my other people along that we were all here from Black ATL. And the short film kind of caught our eye. I mean, the audio was good and the visual was good. I mean, it was amazing. And so we have them here with us to talk about it. So, what was your concept behind the film?
Well, the concept behind the film is kind of like this. I wanted to make a modern adaptation of a fairy tale because obviously I grew up watching a lot of Disney movies and that was like a part of myself that I wanted to explore in my film. But I also wanted to bring awareness to a subject that was very close to me, which is bullying, and how sometimes when you are the less popular girl in school, that can affect you in many different ways that not everybody is aware of.
Okay.
So one of the objectives of this movie was to bring awareness to how certain people deal with bullying in high school and how important it is to be strong and stay true to who you are, because that will eventually help you overcome it.
Okay. Oh, very, very nice. And you have your husband in there.
Yeah.
Now, I'm surprised. I'm like, who's this little... we met y'all on the outside, we talking. I was like, hold on, you're from the movie? He's like, I'm her husband. I'm like, aren't you like 12 years old?
It happens. We both have baby faces, but he wasn't my husband when we casted him for the movie. That's actually how we met. So why don't you tell them a little bit about how we met? Just started.
Yeah, I mean, it's really like, it's crazy how it happened because I submitted for this film. I saw it on LA Casting and I submitted for it kind of last minute and
20 minutes before his audition time.
Yeah, I got the script, I got the sides for it. It was like 20 minutes before the audition. It was like 20 minutes before the audition when I got the sides, and so I didn't even have time to read them. And I just kind of showed up.
We were talking about cold reads earlier.
Cold reads, I hate
the ultimate cold read.
A cold reading would make a bad actor bad, in my opinion. A good actor bad, in my opinion. I hate cold readings.
But I showed up and I read, and she liked it, and I got a call a day later, and that's how we started working together. And, you know, I had a great time on set. She was a great director, obviously. She's, you know, this film's gotten a lot of attention. It's won a lot of awards, and so the rest from there is history.
Yeah.
Okay. So love on set, that is amazing.
Yeah.
It was so weird how everything happened because I was in this audition room just pulling my hair out because I couldn't find the right role. Because his role is kind of like, if you go back to this Cinderella type archetype thing, he would be Prince Charming in the story.
Okay.
But a mean Prince Charming in the story because he's technically the villain. But I couldn't find the right guy. And all these people came in and I did the schedule for LA Casting and just wrote everything down perfectly because I'm like that. Everything has to be organized and has to have a place and a time.
Yeah.
And none of them were cutting it. There were some that were very good actors. Like, it was not because we had bad actors showing up. It just, I was very specific about what I wanted for the character of Max, which is who he played. And all of a sudden, in the middle of the audition, we were taking a 5-minute break. And this guy just submits on LA Casting last minute. I was like, it's not like he's going to show up, but okay, whatever. Let's schedule him in 20 minutes.
Okay.
He showed up, and one of the casting assistants that we had there was so funny because we were past auditioning Max, the character of Max, and we were auditioning the dancers for the dance number in the movie. And in the middle of the dancers, he later told me that he showed up and there were people dancing inside. And he's like, are we going to have to dance or do something? He didn't know what was going on because the music was playing inside the audition room. It was a really crazy day. But one of the casting assistants that was in the room with me, that 5-minute break between seeing dancers, just peeks outside the window and sees him sitting there. And he just turns to me and he's like, oh, we found your Prince Charming is sitting right there.
Y'all make a good couple. Y'all look good together.
Thank you. That was what I was going to kind of like segue into is it's so crazy how he meant your Prince Charming is sitting out there meaning the character, but he actually ended up being my personal Prince Charming.
So there is hope for us who are single out there.
Oh yeah. And I actually, that's what, one time I was, my last semester of film school, we were having this discussion on casting and this girl in my class was freaking out because she still hadn't found the right lead for her movie. And I came up with my story. I was like, never lose faith because you never know how you can find in the least expected circumstance the right person for the role. And then I always use that story to get people
Great
to really knock you up
story.
on casting. Yeah.
I love this story. My heart is pumping. Let me ask you a question. So I'm a director myself. I directed one video that's on Vivo, but I know a lot of women too. I was putting my hair out when it came to dealing with actors, dealing with crew. How was that process like? The overall process of creating the short film?
Well, I actually relied a lot on the co-producer of this movie. His name is Man, and he was a really big support for me throughout this process because it was almost like I felt that whenever you get into a project that has a lot of moving parts like this was, you need to have someone who's on point, almost like a duplicate of your brain, seeing ahead because of all these moving parts. If one of them starts falling apart, then all of them start falling slowly.
The domino effect.
So the logistics of this project were, I would say, one of the most ambitious aspects of them, and the producer, he was actually co-producer and line producer for this movie, was actually a really, really huge part of why this movie happened the way it did, because he started, we had a couple of hiccups the weeks before production because a lot of the crew members that we had originally enlisted started giving excuses for not showing up. That's probably something that I should mention. Cinder Pumpkin was produced as my intermediate film when I was attending New York Film Academy in Los Angeles. So it was not my thesis, but it was the film that we do halfway into our major, it's like a 3-year program. So a year and a half in, we do a film that showcases everything we've learned so far. But in my case, because I had this ambition and this really huge wish of wanting to prove that slapping a student label on something does not make it amateur immediately.
Okay.
I really just wanted to prove that I could make something with the knowledge that I already had up until that point. So a lot of the people that we originally recruited for the film were film students from the same New York Film Academy. And while some were great, some others did almost like honor that stereotype of students being amateur because they would cancel last minute. One guy even told me, "Oh, my parents just decided to show up, so and they're gonna come tomorrow, so I'm not gonna be on your set." I was like, "But we have a commitment for you to do this." And not that if you obviously have something last minute, it's okay. Like I've had to cancel due to health issues too before, but it did put a little bit of a hiccup in our production because we had to figure things out last minute. But in another way, I feel that helped a lot because it helped us think on our feet and solve it really fast. And I feel that that's how it is in the real world. Whenever you're making a movie, and then we had all these extras, which was another huge moving part, and then scenes with a Steadicam, so that was another huge thing because we had to choreograph that in advance, and we had very limited time to shoot it. We basically shoot this in 3 days in November of 2013, and then we did a reshoot in March of 2014, just for one scene, and then the movie was ready by May of that year.
Okay. And how many times the movie has been seen where?
We've actually been in more than 25 festivals internationally. We got picked up by Shorts HD, and we have a 3-year contract with them, so the movie is still, you might catch it on TV sometime. It's there somewhere. I still haven't seen it myself on TV, but I know it's there.
Oh, that's amazing.
And now we're here in Atlanta. We just screened it at Get Connected 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, like I was saying when we were here, there were other short films that were shown too. They were nice. But yours, there's one particular scene that all three of us were sitting at the dance scene. I was like, what is that right now? I was sold. I was like, they're in this big mansion, they're dancing. I was like, that was an amazing idea to put that in this short film.
That took so much time.
It took a lot of time.
Yeah.
I could go on and on about it, but I feel that we have never seen the perspective of one of the working actors on set of how that day was. How was that day for you?
I mean, I didn't do too much with the choreography or anything like that because obviously I didn't dance. But I did just have that one part where me and Cinder run into the middle and dance and kiss. And I think we filmed that. How many takes did we do?
Oh, we did like 8.
No, we did more than 8 takes.
I remember 8, but after the 8th take, I was probably somewhere in the ether. I don't even know, but...
I don't know how many takes we did. We kept running it. And
like I said, a lot of moving parts.
Yeah.
We wanted to make sure that it was exactly timed with the music when the camera...
When the camera spin.
Because a lot of it was wanting to create this atmosphere of a world that this girl who's into studying and who's a really good girl sees this dangerous, almost forbidden world for the first time. So the color changes play a lot to that. We start the scene and you see that it's red, and then it switches when she walks in and it's this Arnold world, almost like she's entering through hell or purgatory. And then after her and Max kiss, everything becomes blue and blissful, and the people dancing is almost like in her mind.
Yeah.
It's very, very surreal because it's her dream and the moment she's been waiting for so long. So everything had to be timed with the kiss and the camera floating around her, and all that was done in a way that it would convey this ideal of her finally getting to almost like her victory right before her downfall, which is like right before that shattering moment where just her entire world gets crushed. I'm not gonna say why it gets crushed. You have to see the movie to know why.
I saw the movie. I know why it gets crushed.
But it's a pretty big blow for her.
Okay, let me ask you a question as the actor and getting into the character.
Okay.
How was that process for you?
Max is kind of, I don't know what language I can use on here.
It's social media. Go for it.
He was an asshole.
That's fine.
But he's got this facade of being such a nice person, and he's like the popular guy in school or whatever. But that having to maintain that popular kind of front makes him treat Cinder horribly, And on the inside, he really wants to be with Cinder, so he's got this soft side. So there's those two polar opposites, and it makes the character kind of dynamic. But I really just drew from like high school experience, because you do meet those kinds of people. Like stereotypically, it's like a jock, who's really machismo and that kind of
Reloaded.
Yeah, and then I kind of took more of myself for the softer side, because I'm kind of like that, kind of romantic, kind of quiet, and so I tried to take. I don't know if I'm really that romantic, but I mean,
you're pretty romantic and pretty. He's just like a really sensitive teddy bear. But that's just my point of view, and I'm not biased because I told you this. We were friends for the longest time, and I really do know that he has a really soft side that just transforms whenever he gets into a role. He has this really easy way of transitioning into a character, if that makes any sense. That it's still you, but you are able to bring the life of this asshole.
You're very natural.
Yeah.
You're a very natural actor.
For every character that, thank you by the way, but for every
character,
I truly believe in subtlety. And I think I hate overacting and things like that.
Thank you. I don't want to watch a stage play on TV or in the theater.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Or soap. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Don't get me started on that.
Yeah, okay.
But I guess my romantic teddy bear soft side, whatever. I use that for the South Pole of Max, and then the North Pole. I really just drew from, those types of machismo, bravado, kind of alpha male characters that everyone's met.
And that Max was kind of written based on, because the character of Max was based on a couple of real people that I knew when I was in high school in Mexico City.
Okay.
So if you've ever been to Mexico City and you know private school kids from Mexico City, you'll be able to understand perfectly where Max was, and this assholeness was inspired by.
Okay.
Because there's actually this entire culture around being this junior job that everybody wants to be in, and there's a specific smell that goes with it. Even it goes down to the way they smell and the way they move and the way they open their shirts all the way down and have beads hanging from them. And we actually got a shirt that belonged to one of those people that inspired the movie for him to wear during the film.
Okay,
and
that's
that
a
shirt,
real thing. That's
the actual guy that inspired Max.
Okay.
Used to own that shirt that he's wearing in the movie.
You see how the shirt now we give it back.
No, actually, the producer threw it out after the film. He just thought that it would bring bad vibes. And then I was looking at him. Why do we have to do a reshoot? You didn't think of that, and now the shirt is gone. Thank you. But luckily, we got everything we needed from him once, and then that was it. We didn't have to do more reshoots with Max and that shirt. So
I'm glad it's gone.
Yeah.
It was horrible.
So let me ask you another question. Because you went to school, and when you're doing a student film, a lot of people think a student film is only going to be perceived one way. You're getting a lot of positive feedback from your film. So how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel good, mainly because I wanted to prove to people like me that the word student doesn't mean anything when you have the drive, the passion, and the talent to make a film. Because anybody can make a movie, but unfortunately, because of, I guess it is like this in many different things, but for film specifically, when anybody uses the word student in the context of film, it immediately puts a stamp on the forehead of the movie saying, I'm bad, you should not see me, bad quality, bad sound, all the negatives you can throw. It's almost like warning flashing signs.
So what would you give to disgruntled students who are trying to create films and trying to get to a high level? What advice would you give them?
I would tell them, use all the negative things people have said about students and use them as motivation to prove that you're different.
Okay.
To prove that you have a voice. I would say be very clear about your voice, meaning the message that you want to convey, and start simple. Start with why you want to do this, because I feel that every movie that has ever been made was because somebody wanted to say something.
True.
And convey it and share that with other people. So have that very clear, and if you have nothing other than your iPhone, just use it and just do it. And don't worry if people say it's too ambitious. Don't worry if people say it's too expensive. Just get into the mindset that if you feel like this is something almost like a dream that chose you in life, like you've been entrusted with this voice and this skill that you have and this passion that you have to make movies, you should honor it. And you should really go out there and do everything in your power to make that voice be heard.
Okay.
Because if you do that, then there's no going wrong. The problem is when people try and do movies or any other creative work for other than sharing it and they do it for the wrong reasons. For example, they want to get famous really fast. They think that if they do this, tomorrow somebody's going to recognize their hidden artistic talent and then they're going to be millionaires. And it's not always like that. It's like, I like to say, and I stole this quote from Walt Disney, I totally stole it, but I like to use it.
From Walt Disney?
Yes, because he said, I'm a huge, not as much a Disney as a company fan, but I'm a fan of the man himself.
Okay, yeah.
And what he started, because he was kind of like that. He went out every day and he just wanted to make cartoons because he had a passion for it. And a lot of things, if you see this film, it's on Netflix, it's called Walt Before Mickey. It really digs deep into the struggle that Walt Disney had before he had success. And I feel that a lot of filmmakers, like me, like us, and anybody in the industry can really relate to that. Feeling that he had of, I don't know if I can make it, it's too expensive, everything in the world is against me. But he used to say, I don't want to make movies to make money, I want to make money to be able to make movies.
Wonderful concept.
And that is something that I live by. I don't do what I do to get rich and famous. I hope that the notoriety that my movie has had so far, and that any project that Travis and I do in the future will have, will sort of fuel that spark in other people and get them to help us make more movies and make more content for other people.
Okay, and besides Cinder Pumpkin, what other projects have y'all done?
Right now I'm actually working on completing an anthology of supernatural neo-noir films.
Oh, that's so
It's
mouthful.
it's a little bit of a the concept is a little bit out there, but let me explain what it is. So while I was in film school, I knew from the very beginning that I wanted to be a director.
Okay.
And what I did is I just directed. I went out and I did a couple more projects. I got into 48-hour film projects. I got into just grabbing him and a couple other of our actor friends, almost like this filmmaking family that I created for myself, and just shooting things over the weekends. And I ended up with 3, almost 4 really good shorts that almost like had no place or no niche. We actually got a couple of them into festivals as well. We got a couple of awards from those as well.
That's good.
And I couldn't really gel them together under one concept until very recently.
Okay.
But what I found, it's almost like I found like a theme for that body of work that I did. And it ended up being, I surprised myself because it had to do with a lot of mystery, supernatural elements, and
See, I'm a big
just
fan
something
of
kooky.
supernatural Poker dice.
Yeah,
I'm a
it's
big
awesome.
fan of all of that stuff.
And after Cinder Pumpkin, I was trying to find a place, almost like my place in the world.
Okay.
I wanted to see, oh, well, what type of filmmaker am I? Because I don't want to be the next Wes Anderson, or I don't want to be the next Steven Spielberg. I want to be the first Stephanie.
Exactly.
So I was like, okay, but then I have Cinder Pumpkin and all this success, but then what about my other films,
True.
my experimental films? Like, they're kooky and crazy, and one of them is about, just so you get an idea, one of them is a bunch of crazy patients locked away in a psychiatric ward arguing about jam. Another one is about a guy who makes a deal with the devil. Another one is about a woman who is having this really big existential crisis and shares it with her son. And it's a 2-minute movie. Everything happens in 2 minutes. That's what's every movie has an experimental aspect to it. And the last one is A Day in the Life of Death and how he takes the souls whose time is up. So these 4 movies were just crazy because I couldn't find a place for them together until I was seeing all the common elements in them and the different themes that I went to over and over. And I scare myself a little bit because I'm like, this is dark stuff.
Okay.
Like you're this really happy light person and your work is so dark. But I've learned to embrace it, and that's why I almost like want to release. My next step is to release that set of 4 films as almost like an anthology.
Well, because that makes you an artist, that makes you a director. If you just stick it in one particular venue, and all your movies or whatever, they're all the same, it's going to put you in a box.
Exactly.
And that makes you a true artist. If you can,
thank you.
You can do the kooky comedy stuff, you can do the dark, dramatical stuff. That's what makes you an artist.
Range.
Range is
the
really
range.
good. Yes.
Yeah. Oh.
I like that a lot, and what I like the most, and where I really find I feel like my passion and almost like the work that I could do for free and not even mind is work with actors.
Okay.
That is my absolute passion in life, where I just gravitate towards, and where I would be happy if that's all I did.
Like you heard her. I'm an actor. You heard her say that. We're working together on something soon.
We totally will.
Smiles.
I'm definitely looking for new people to collaborate. You can always, if you have a project in mind or anything, you can just send me an email on Tapehouse. That's T-A-P-A, T-A-P-E. I'm sorry, my spelling was never.
You're okay. You're all right.
T-A-P-E-H-A-U-S.
Yeah, house is written as house, like you would spell house in German. And that's because I'm Austrian and I don't speak German, but I want to honor my German ancestry by naming it with house. And the tape part was his idea, so we just combined it like that.
So the whole thing is, say it again.
It's Tape House, yeah.
Tape House.
Email us at Tape House with any projects or just say hi and we'll get back to you because we love collaborating with people just like that. It's like we were talking about how networking in Atlanta actually works. And we're all for connecting with people, and we want to get new people involved with everything we're doing. And just bringing new ideas and create new films together with new people who have a fresh perspective and a lot of diversity. We love embracing diversity because I'm a very international person, as he probably would tell you. Every time we get a party going or anything, I pull out my iPod with songs in so many different languages.
Like all these different... just crazy videos from like India and people dancing on trains and stuff. So she loves like everything.
I love diversity. I love different cultures, and I love incorporating that into the work that I do in some way here and there. So. Okay.
So are you on Facebook, Instagram? Where can they find you at, or whatever the case is?
Well, Facebook we have. I'm on Facebook as Stephanie Dieter. He's on Facebook as Travis Brown, and on Instagram my name is actually Cindy Steph.
Cindy Steph.
Yeah, that's my tagline on social media, or I'm trying to make it my tagline. Still get it there.
Taglines are good.
But yeah, it's like if I post, my Instagram is filled with random moments in my day-to-day. Just like the other day, I found this circa 1906 typewriter, and I just loved it because I remember reading a poem about an Underwood typewriter when I was in high school. And I saw this typewriter that is just like the one they talk about in the poem. So things like that, I just snap a picture of it and I put it on my Instagram with little quotes and little phrases. So it's actually a very insightful Instagram account. I know that I should probably make my caption shorter than I actually do, but I feel that every image that I take has a story in itself.
Yes.
And that's basically what I'm trying to do with my Instagram right now, is just create that platform of little everyday things that go unnoticed by most people, but from a new angle or a new perspective that makes it beautiful or makes it catch your eye, so that I have an opportunity to tell a little story about it.
All right.
So Cindy Steph, just like that.
Cindy Steph. Okay, well, I really enjoyed the interview with you all.
Oh, thank you for
Yes,
having
and once
us.
again, the short film was amazing. Out of all the films that they showed us that they connected, yours was at my absolutely best. It was very, very, very good. So, yes, once again, this is George Frank with Black ATL. We're with Stephanie and Travis. Please check out Cinder Pumpkin.
Oh, you can check it out on our website too. It's for free on tapehouse.com. You can go in there, watch that, and my neo-noir short films. They're all there too. So
Yeah, I can't pronounce it. I can say this short film.
yeah, just all my projects are available for free. So just check out our website and our services, everything we do. Check us out. Send an email to say hi. We love collaboration, so we look forward to hearing from all of you.
Yes, please connect with them. Once again, I'm George Pringle with Black ATL. You can follow Black ATL on Facebook, Twitter, and IG. It's Black, it's spelled BLACC. ATL. Yes. Spelling.
Very
Yes.
important.
Yes, spelling. And you can go to www.blacktl.wordpress.com. See, we all have
Let's put a link. A link should show up, right?
Yes,
Go
link
to this
should
link.
show up.
Go to that link. That right there. That
Right.
link.
So thank you all and have a good day.